Hey everybody, it's Wisp. I've been wanting to do this thing, try out this little experiment, where I take Fire Emblem heroes 3 months at a time and kind of predict that quarter of the year in heroes, who will come, what it will look like. But having never done that before and not knowing exactly how much fun it would be for me or for people watching for it to be that long, 3 months all at once, I decided to shrink it down a bit. Try it out for 1 month for now, and if I really like it, jump to 2, and then maybe eventually get to my plan of 3, maybe keep it at 1 or 2. It really just depends. But it's a good way for me to try out doing this and to try out the graphic I planned, so without any more need for introduction, really, I just want to predict, starting from the month of April, what I think Fire Emblem Heroes will be looking like that month. So April is usually... Shoot, what is April? Dancers or bridals? Well, that's a darn shame. The point of these predictions that I make is to guess the characters and games that will be represented. So that means who will be in the banners, what will their costumes be inspired by, will it be Ascendant heroes, those sorts of things. I'm not at the moment really looking to guess all the gameplay features, extra banners. There are a lot of people who do that way better than I do. I've not quite figured out some of the patterns, and my guesses would be maybe fun to see where I am wrong, but not what I want to do right now. I'll make myself a points-based system. We'll see how I do. I'm not starting with March because it's over halfway over, so I kind of get a lot of it right based off of that alone. Alright, so for April, for what it's worth, I am taking down my predictions before the new Heroes trailer in March. As of filming, that trailer's coming out tonight, so I don't know when exactly I'll be able to publish the video because of some issues I've been having with that front, but if my guess happens to be the March banner, I will be kind of excited. I believe April actually opens with the story banner, since the seasonal for this month started on the anniversary, April 20th. So for the story-based banner, I think we're going to be getting Ascendant heroes, and that's something I'll have another video talking about what qualifies someone being Ascendant and what doesn't, and the answer to that is I don't actually know, but I'm going to pretend I do. So I think we're going to be getting Radiant Dawn, and that it will be, finally, some of the Dawn Brigade. Edward as a 5-star, Leonardo as a demote bow unit, Nolan as the GHB. I know it doesn't actually fit a GHB since they're usually enemies who you can recruit as allies or notable bosses, but I think it kind of fits because those three are kind of hard to separate, but also, just to be honest, we don't normally get 3 men on one banner. Micaiah has a legendary. I don't think she's going to get an Ascendant hero anytime soon, but I do think Sonic could get an Ascendant hero. She's not quite the main character, but she's really important. She has some story-based things to do after the game. I think Ascendants usually show off what that is. She might be able to carry the banner. And then lastly, just for another 5-star unit on the banner, I kind of want to say Meg. I think it would be great if she joined. But that's where I'm starting to struggle, because Laura also makes sense as an early Dawn Brigade recruit. But Aaron would be a better GHB for when Laura comes. Maybe Fiona. Kind of a surprising pick, but not impossible. So there's a few people, and I can't decide exactly where I think it's coming, but not every banner, I remember, follows one specific theme. So even though it makes no sense whatsoever, I think that could be how we get Heather added into the game. She's still not in, weirdly enough. And I don't get why. I know that there are other Tellius characters, namely Boyd, who are more commonly requested than anyone I listed, but I actually think Boyd's going to come at an event later down the line, later on in the year, because I have this really sneaky feeling that Boyd is one of the characters who they know everybody wants, and they're just not going to give us yet, because having that character that could come at any time. He's a popular character. He's an important character. He's a very recognizable character. So he makes sense to come at any time. And it's really weird that he hasn't yet, but maybe that's why. We all know he could come at any moment, so we wait, and we're, the bigger fans of Boyd are playing largely just to hope to get orbs for him, only to get distracted by banners just down the street, basically. So it keeps people on the hook longer to have a few popular characters that just don't make it. And I think Boyd really easily fits that category. So that's the reason I'm not picking him quite yet. And so there's my thoughts on the new Heroes banner. It will obviously come with a story chapter. Hopefully Veronica's doing well by then. I know that March is still on the way, so I don't know exactly where that'll take us, but I'm not convinced the character is going to get killed off, but I do think she's going to go through some stuff that I don't think she should have to go through. So I feel really bad for her, and I just hope that she's good. Alright, so the next banner would be our baby/child heroes, child versions of adult heroes banner. And yeah, that's the one I'm sticking with. That's what I'm sticking with. Child versions of adult heroes banner. He's not going to be Awakening, obviously. I mean, I think that was a strong pick. There's a lot of things Awakening was kind of a strong pick for. Awakening makes sense for the child banner because there's already existing concept art of Crom, Lissa, and Imran as kids, and their childhood actually factors into the lore of that game. Like, they actually mention it. So that one makes sense. Falling Crom is actually widely requested. And then you got Ascendant Crom, because we still don't have the Great Lord from the end of the game with his glowing sword, the Awakened Falchion or Exalted Falchion, depending on where you sit on that debate. Bridal Olivia with the Crom duo thing. Like, Awakening makes sense for a lot of these roles. I just don't think it will, should, or is happening soon. So, since we just got Valentine's Crom, I don't think we're going to get Child Crom, and I don't think we're getting Young Awakening without Child Crom. Both as the main character and as the fact that he's the one that has existing concept art, as well as his sisters. There's still a few other ones that make sense. I mean, we have Child Edelgard and Dimitri who exist, and you could easily enough have a duo of them, but I don't think that's the duo for either of them that they'd want to use, because both of them could be in other duos, and then you would get another Edelgard and another Dimitri, not just another Edelgard who has Dimitri behind her or something like that. I don't think they would be the duo hero of that banner. Maybe they would, but also just those two don't have any connection to other characters. So like, you could throw in young Claude, but what's his connection and reason for being there with those two? I guess you don't really need one, but it's kind of more fun when there is one. So I'm personally taking that one off the table for now, and I'm thinking, despite just having part of a seasonal banner, I think Echoes makes the most sense, or Shadows of Valencia. Alm and Celica meet as children, but then you also have Tobin, Gray, Cliff, Faye, who are all there. You could find ways to use Conrad or May and Boy, Jenny. There's quite a few characters who could be used for that. Not that all of them need to, not that all of them will, of course, but I think that that's one of their better bets. Though if I were in control, I'd rather Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia be getting the next main banner, because I want Atlas and Jesse in the game. But that's not happening quite yet, and I understand. That's fine. That's good. Why did Delphia get 4 units before Atlas got 1? I mean, like, I know she's more popular, but that much? I guess so. Anyway, that one's loads of fun. I think after those ones we have in the coming months, dancer banners, bridal banners that are a lot more heated. So I'm glad that the children's banner is very casual and calm to talk about. Resplendence also happen. We're ending March with Ophelia. I don't always put like characters back to back, but they did it with Elwood and Hector, and They did it with Marth and Sheeta, so I do think this is another one that it's that important. Soleil coming as the next Resplendent. She's in the 4-star pool, so it's not as huge as giving us another 5-star Resplendent, but she's also the, what is it, like second cousin? Second cousin to Ophelia or something like that. So that's neat. They're also close friends, and Inigo and Owain have a really close relationship as well. So I think that it'd be really nice to get Zolio at a similar time. As for what region she would be from, well, so far there's Lucina as, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but the fairy, the light fairies, Crom and Moosebell, and Ophelia in the dark fairyland. I think filling out the family, Olivia would fit with fairies, and Inigo would fit with hopefully the fairies as well. He likes dancing. He's supposed to be charming, or he thinks he's charming. He's flirtatious, mainly because of his self-doubt, but first glance is kind of, I think, what matters sometimes for Resplendence. So I think he would fit, even though there's not many men that get the fairy outfit. I put most of the family in one category, with Crom kind of off to the side. But I think Soleil doesn't really fit the idea of like the graceful fairy group. But she's also not quite brute strength enough to be Moosebell. There's no real fire from her character. And she likes tea. It's not like she's not flirtatious at all. I just mean that she's much more direct and blunt with it. And that, there's not like necessarily a real theme, but my opinion of it is she kind of feels like she could be a Jotunheimer with it. That I don't know exactly what they would do because she doesn't really fit them by design, but that's kind of what's fun about Resplendence is you make it work, and sometimes it comes out looking amazing, so hopefully they're interested in doing that. And then, of course, we're getting what is most likely a mythic hero that month. And I'm confident this time, this April, we're getting an Anonkos. I'm confident because that he's one of the most heavily requested deity characters. He's an important character. Fates is really old at this point, so I feel like it's fine. And Revelation is being pulled off of the eShop, so it's not like people are going to play the game now anyway, so they might as well just spoil the heck out of it. Anyway, I do think he's coming. I think he's going to be great, but I will go ahead and make that little graphic, make the chart, and let's see if I'm right come... Let's see how I fare come April, and I'll start seeing if this is something that I should do per month, or per 2 months, or 3. Definitely not going above 3. I think I wouldn't want to do 4 months at once. Thank you very much.